Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Thursday, the 20th of March, 2025. Just getting that date fixed in my head. Okay, yep. It's still early in the morning, although the Guardian's puzzle was a little bit late today. It's 7:15. It took 15 minutes to come on. I was clicking the refresh button, but anyway, we are here now. I'm awake early, and I'm I woke up about 5 this morning with nothing to do really, but I was in luck because the latest version of a podcast that I'm following has dropped. I don't know if you know the Behind the Bastards podcast. It's available here on YouTube as well. It is great in general. It's really good. Robert Evans is the journalist and presenter of the show, and he always has a guest on. And in general, they talk about the worst people in history, but sometimes it's contemporary, and the particular ongoing episode at the moment, this morning, was part 3 of I don't know how many parts. Well, they never quite say. I'm never quite sure how many parts it's going to be. Probably a 4-parter, I would guess, but it may turn into a 5-part episode. I'm not sure. But the latest episode is out now, and they're looking at the Zizians. And if you don't know anything about this, it's worth watching or listening to. And it's just insane. It's where people who describe themselves as rationalists, which is a really ironic term, take logic in the wrong way. They overthink things in an insane way. They kind of lose touch with reality. They believe that they are like all cults. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention the Behind the Bastards podcast often deals with different cults and how terrible they are. All cults are terrible. But anyway, this one is particularly relevant because there are people like Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and people close to the government who believe in this kind of rubbish. And so for that reason, it's extra important for us to know about these idiots that call themselves rationalists, which is a nice word, but really what they do is very irrational. What their beliefs are very irrational, and what they do is rational because it apparently leads to murder. We haven't got as far as the murders yet in the in the Behind the Bastards podcast, but we have got promise of. I have heard about at least one of them already in the news. Anyway, so that's a nice morning because it made me laugh. It is so funny, really very funny podcast. I recommend that. And then something which did not make me laugh but was kind of expected was getting news that Greenpeace has been found guilty by a possibly very biased jury in Dakota and ordered to pay $660 million. Yes, Greenpeace, $660 million to a fossil fuel company. And the fossil fuel industry employs more than half of the jury in that area. And it was, they were worried about it on the way in, saying they couldn't find. All of the judges had to recuse themselves because they were all related in some way or another to the fossil fuel industry in the area. They hated the protesters. Locals hated the protesters because they disrupted their lives, and because they work for the fossil fuel industry in that area. So they had to bring in another judge from outside, and he refused to allow it to be live streamed, as happens in quite a lot of courts. That's a really good idea, live streaming, I think, in many cases. Maybe not always, but in a case like this, it would have been a good idea. Because it's not you're not really protecting an individual's privacy rights, which would be the case in some court cases. Anyway, there's a monitoring committee that looks into the fairness of trials, and I'm going to quote from Marty Garbus, who is a First Amendment lawyer, an expert who said, "In my 6 decades of legal practice, I have never witnessed a trial as unfair as the one against Greenpeace that just ended in North Dakota. Greenpeace has a very strong case on appeal. I believe there's a good chance it will ultimately win both in court and the court of public opinion." Anyway, that one definitely did not go for the way of humanity. It's yet more, yet another victory on the part of Trump and fossil fuel companies who are killing us all. Let's get on with the game of Sudoku then. This is the first hard level game of the week from The Guardian. We're going to start with 5 blocking across. 5 blocking across and across here, and a 5 up there. So 5 is the digit to begin with. We've got 5s going down and down. Get a 5 there. Okay. 6 goes up, 6 goes down, 6 goes in. 6 goes across here and up here, which means that one of these 2 squares has to be 6, A or B. We don't know which one, but 6 also blocks up here, and that's going to give us 6 eventually up there. In a similar fashion, 3 blocking up here and 3 across here. Oh no, I was going to say puts 3 in one of these 2 squares. In fact, it does more than that, doesn't it? In fact, we can place it already. I was going to say 3 is in one of these 2 squares, but I don't need to because we've actually positioned it. But anyway, we still get the square up in the top, which was what my original intention was. We'll continue the 3 across here. So 3 in one of these 2 squares, blocking down here, across here, and across there. We have 8 blocking down here, 8 across here and there. There's an 8. 8 this way, and 8 up here. And, yep, there is another easy one. I was going to say I'm running out of easy ones, but no, there's another easy one to find. 9 is here. Okay, and then 9 across here and there and down. One blocks down here and across there, and then 1 across here and there, so there's a 1. We're left with a 2 in this column. 2 blocking this way and down there, there's 2 across there, gives me 2 in that square. Six across here puts a 6 into that square there. These squares in the bottoms are all 4s and 7s, except for we've got a pair of 5s there, but everything else is 4 and 7. 4, 7, 4, 7, 4, 7. Okay. And so when we spot the 7 blocking this square, we know that that's a 7, and that's a 4, and that's a 7. And we'll end up with 4 and 5 in those squares there. We've still got 4 and 7 left in these squares here. Oh, I forgot to put 4 there. And this may not lead to anything, but I see the 1 and 6 blocking up here. So, oh yeah, so that's 1 and 6 in those squares. In fact, we can get this one, can't we? That's got to be a 7 because we've got 1 and 6 here. And if we look down the column, that's what we're left with. So if this is 1 and 6, when the 2 blocks across there, we get 2 in that square, and the last digit here is 7. What's next? Okay, looks like we've got 1 and 2 missing in this row, so 2 blocking that square there. There's the 2 and there's the 1. 1 blocking up here and across there. There's 1. We've got 8 blocking this square, 8 blocking this square. So in this column, there's our 8. And we've got 4, 7 like this in those squares. It does mean that that can't be a 4 or a 7 as well, I guess, because of our unique rectangle rule. Should we explore it? I think we'll probably get the answer if we do explore it. Let's just have a quick look then. Okay, so we've got 4 and 7 in those squares there. And this is not, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a tough game, so it may not be necessary. But just to explain to newcomers to Sudoku what a unique rectangle rule, or the way that a unique rectangle rule works, is that we, because I do explain this on some videos for newcomers. We're always having newcomers, right, who have questions about the UR. So, you know, if we had the same 2 numbers in each of these 4 digits, we would have more than one possible solution. But Sudoku can only have one. Valid Sudoku should only have one possible solution. So we can't have just the same pair in each. So because we know already that we've got 4 and 7 in these squares, and we've got 4 and 7 in these squares in this column, so this row or this block and this column, it means that this square here cannot contain 4 or 7. Neither of those digits can be in this particular square. Okay, so let's examine it. It can't be 1, it can't be 2, it can't be 3. We know it can't be 4 or 7, so that's no good. 5, no. It could be a 6 because we don't have any intervening 6s. It can't be 7 because 4 and 7 are eliminated. It can't be 8 and it can't be 9. So it is in fact a 6. And there we are. So that's a quick explanation about the unique rectangle if you are new to the game, if you haven't encountered one before. 6 blocking across. So 6s are now finished, and this will be a 1 over here. Now 1 and 5 block across here, that puts 1 and 5 into those squares and leaves me here with a 9. 9 across there, there's a 9. And 9 up to the top and across there, this could well be the last one. Yes, it was. Not much more to go now, but, well, I say that, but we've only completed 6 and 9, but it looks like the rest of it Shouldn't be too tricky, should it? We've got 3 blocking up here and 3 across there. So there's our 3, 3 across here and across there. There is our 3. That's the last 3. Two blocks up here and 2 across there, so there's our 2. Across here we just need a 4, so 4 down here, there's our 4, this is 5. 5 back up here to give me a 5 in this square, this would be a 1. 1 blocking up here, there's the 1. And missing digits here are 2 and 8, so the 2 blocking across gives us 2 in that square, 8 in that square. 8 back that direction, there's the 8, and here's the 4. 4 across here, there's a 4, 4 down there, there's a 4, 4 down here, here's the 4 and the 7 that we had from a long time ago. Oh, we still need a 7 to finish there and there. So that's our hard level puzzle from the Guardian. Not too tricky really, I'm sure you'll agree. Okay, thanks for joining me. That's it. I'll be back later with some other more difficult Sudoku puzzles. Bye bye.